Hey everyone, it's Jake with Cardfight Club. Super Bowl is a month away. Got me thinking about football. I'm in Texas. They're all about football. So, thinking of football, playing Cardfight, decided to build Spike Brothers. They haven't gotten anything new recently, but I still think they're good. Haven't seen much discussion. They used to be one of the top decks, but they kind of disappeared. They were up there with Gold Paladins. Haven't seen a whole lot of talk. So, we're going to look back at these guys and see why they're so great. First off, Mecha Trainer. Conroe clone, so good. Lets you run 3 perfect guards, frees up some grade 1 space, allows me to run a little bit of tech in here that I couldn't if I ran Darkbringer. Triggers is pretty standard. 4 heal, 4 draw, 8 critical. Can't do anything too special. Stands are bad. Mixing stands and criticals are even worse. And this is really your only option. You need draws. Like, I don't even think this would change if the deck had more triggers available. You need the draws to fuel your Dudley effects. And I kind of want to run 12 criticals, so the only thing I can maybe cut would be heals for like 2 heals for 2 more crits if the clan ever got them. But one underestimated guy right here, Silence Joker. Move it to soul, unflip a damage. This card is much better than it appears. A lot of times people will not swing on your Vanguard. You have 4 damage, 3 of it's flipped because you just used Mecha Trainer and Dudley Emperor. They won't swing on your Vanguard and give you that 5th damage. You can just put this guy in the soul, unflip, catches people off guard. Grade 1s, 4 Wonder Boy. Don't be afraid to drop these in your front row early, front rear guard slots early. Be really aggressive with this deck. That's what this deck's about. Late game behind your Dudley Emperor, this is your only way to hit 21k against 11k Vanguards. Next up, along with that aggressive strategy, you need 3 Reckless Express. Soul Blast 1 gets plus 5,000, shuffles back to the deck. Pretty good. If you have a handful of grade 1s, this still swings for 12k, which is over the 11k high of current Vanguards. 7k behind Dudley Emperor late game. If you need to, it can be a 7k booster for 28k behind Dudley Emperor. Really good aggressive card. 3 perfect guards instead of 4 because we have the Mecha Trainer, and this is the aggressive deck. So I've probably said aggressive 100 times, and I'll say it 100 more. This is the most aggressive deck that comes to my mind. If there was an aggro on Cardfight Vanguard, Spike Brothers would be it. I could even see going down to 2. I think that's too little, but if you want to run 2, I could see people doing that. Next up, 2 Medical Managers. Turn 1, he is your best ride because you can turn 1 Medical Manager and Reckless Express, and he's just here to help fuel all your Soul Blast units. There's a ton of them, and at grade 2, you can run out of soul real quick. So he's here to just help out with that a little bit. Now for some of the tech choices, Dudley Daisy. When called during battle, you can counterblast 1, and she gains 5,000 until end of turn. So essentially, for a turn, she is a 12k booster. This is very good because sometimes you've got a grade 2 unit that you can't get off the field, so not a Brocky or a Juggernaut Maximum, but she turns that row into 20k still. 20k at least. Panzer Gale is your 8k, so anything else is 21k. Still gets a lot of threat out there while being able to not really screw up your field position or waste a Dudley effect. Last tech, Dudley Dan. Seen a lot of lists since Emperor come out just completely drop this card, which is a little unnecessary because if you ride Juggernaut Maximum or Skydiver, you have no way to do what this deck does best and call more units during battle. So this is here for that panic button. You're riding Juggernaut Maximum, use Mecha Trainer, grab your 1 of Dudley Dan, and that gives you a little bit of leeway there. Grade 2s, 4 Fierce Leader Zachary. If it hits, you Soul Blast 1, draw a card, shuffle it back into the deck. I had 4 Brackies and 3 of this guy, but I switched the number because this guy gets guarded so hard. People don't want you to draw cards. People don't want you to get rid of spaces so you can get like a Juggernaut maximum out with a Dudley effect. This guy, uh, if I ever hit triggers, I typically will stack all my triggers on a Zachary because I know he's going to be guarded. If he isn't guarded, I'm plussing a card, clearing up a rear guard slot, and I know my opponent's got a pretty weak hand. Next up, 3 high-speed Braki. Similar to Reckless Express and Juggernaut Maximum, Soul Blast 1 plus 5k. At the end of battle, shuffle it into your deck. The reason he's here, he swings 21k with a 7k boost behind him, which is phenomenal. So he'll always be swinging at least 21k if you're boosting. If not, he's still just a attack to throw out and then replace. Like you can play him, Soul Blast 1, swing 14k, pull a 5k guard out of hand, and then call 2 Juggernauts. And I mean that's one 5k less they have in hand. 2 Panzer Gale. You're not running perfect guard, 4 perfect guards. This is there. So say you've had a weak start, you know you can't win this turn. You know you're gonna get killed next turn. You only have like a perfect guard and a 10k in hand, and 2 draw triggers. Well, this lets you trade 2 of your 5k shields in hand essentially for another 5k each shield. It's just the special interceptor. It's only in here for the defensive instances. It's saved me a couple times. Still swings for 20k with a Dudley Daisy if you have one of these stuck here from earlier. 15k with pretty much any other booster that isn't your perfect guard. The last piece, Dudley Douglas, kind of sits with the whole it's kind of a mix between Panzer Gale and Dudley Daisy. It's kind of your half offense, half defense. It'll get you a static card for a 5k shield. Say like I'm playing Gold Paladins and I don't want them to have more rear guards than me to save me that. I can call a Dudley Douglas. It becomes 14k if I counterblast 1 until end of turn. It gets plus 5k and will be 14k with 7k. It's still 21, still good versus 11k Vanguard. Grade 3s. This is what makes the deck function. 4 Demonic Lord, Dudley Emperor. This card is phenomenal. Like, just attack, attack, attack. That's what this guy lets you do. You really want to ride him as your Vanguard. Extra versions just get thrown. Like, he takes care of himself. He's kind of got his own Persona Blast in the sense that any extra Demonic Lord, Dudley Emperors you get just go to your soul to become Juggernaut Maximums and upgrade. Just really good card, which makes the deck run. Next up, you got 4 Juggernaut Maximum, aka Jugs. Such a threat. 16k on his own if I Soul Blast 1. Like, this is typically what you're calling with your Dudley Emperor. Shuffles itself back in, swings for like 23, 24 all the time. I think this deck is still going to be strong versus versus Cross Rides because of this card. Like I said, the 7k units behind, like it swings 16k, which is over the 13k limit, requires a 5k shield, and then with the 7k boost, it's 23k, which requires 15k in shield. So I think this is going to be one of those decks that actually becomes more viable than certain decks are now when we get Cross Rides. Very last slot, 1 Skydiver. So I was running 3 Juggernaut Maximum and a Skydiver, and changed it to, I cut another card, I don't even remember what, for a Skydiver, and calling Skydiver with Dudley Emperor can lead to some hilarity to the extent of which your opponent will guard, because if he's sort of another Zachary in the sense that if you get his effect off, you're probably winning because people will guard this with their life, or you get another swing. So they either can choose to dump all their guard into it, or take 2 damage, or guard the next card that comes. That's the deck. Like I said, I still think it's going to be strong. Hasn't been talked about a lot recently. Set 10, they're getting some really nice stuff. And until then, I still think they're probably one of the better 3 clans out there. Top 3 clans. they don't have a problem with any matchup really. They do surprisingly well versus Gold Paladins. Um, Kagero doesn't really mess with them. I mean, they help out Lawkeeper a little bit because they typically keep themselves low on rear guards. But in the end, I still think they just haven't been looked at a lot recently, and I would recommend. They're super cheap too, so that's my Spike Brother profile. Like, subscribe, whatever. Show me to your friends, show me to your mom. Doesn't matter. Thank you for watching, and that's all, folks.